Hi everyone, we're excited to announce the release of version 1.8.6 of Closed Caption Creator. This is our April release of Closed Caption Creator, and I'm excited to go through some of the new features we've added, along with some key changes that we've done based on user feedback from you. So to start out, the first thing I'm going to mention might not show, but is the support for Creator 7 projects. So that means that people coming from Creator 7 over to Creator 8 can now use their old Creator 7 projects in Creator 8. So that should help with the transition when moving from old Creator 7 to Creator 8. The other thing that we've reintroduced is the automatic save function. So underneath the help menu here, we have what's called restore events. So what we're doing now is that event groups are now saved so to local storage, so that way if the program crashes or if you accidentally refresh the page, you can always come back and restore your work. And you'll notice here what we've done is we include the project name, when it was last updated or saved, the total event groups, and the number of total events inside those groups. So you can always come back here, select the project name or select the restore point, and then restore that project, and it'll bring those event groups into your existing project. The next thing that I wanted to go through was the event metadata. So we made some assumptions when we created the event metadata. For anyone who's not, who doesn't know, the event metadata is this column here in the event list. So in this column here, you'll find the event ID, the words per minute, the characters per second, the total duration of an event, and we've also added now the total characters per line. So you can actually see how many lines you have based on the number of options here. So you'll see that in this event here, we have 22 characters and 24 characters, along with a total of 46 characters. So you can actually see that now inside the event. You might also notice that we have the characters per minute has been switched to characters per second. And that's just following basic guidelines and feedback from users in terms of what was more helpful for them. The next thing I wanted to introduce as well is the overlap detection. So this was something that was already inside of our QC style guides. So we've added it to real-time error detection now as well. So if you come up to settings and you enable error detection, you'll notice that there's a new toggle here for overlap detection. So if I turn that on and I update the group, if I come over here and I accidentally overlap, it will show me that now inside the group here. So I can quickly fix that. And the same goes for the next one, right? So if I go, if I overlap the next event, it'll show me that that event is now being overlapped. So that error shows up here, along with the other errors that you'll see. So things like characters per line or too many lines in the event, something like that. So I'll go back and I'll fix this now. Perfect. Awesome. So, and then the next thing that I wanted to look at as well is the new waveform. So we've made a couple changes to the way the waveform works that we're just trying out for this release. We might go back, we might keep it. So far, we're going to judge based on the feedback we get from users. So we've basically redrawn the waveform here so you can see the tops and the bottoms. So tops and the negative space, which makes it a little bit easier to identify speech, right? The other thing that we've done is instead of normalizing the waveform, which is what we were doing before, we've introduced a new amplitude option here. So on the side here, beside the zoom option, you also have this, it's basically like an amplitude multiplier. So you can toggle this up and it will redraw the waveform for you. So you can make it bigger or smaller depending on what your source content is, right? So sometimes the source content might be very quiet, so you might need to be able to increase that number, the amplitude multiplier, so that way you can actually see, your waveform, which is important. The other thing that we've done down here as well is that we've basically locked the event groups, or sorry, the events, the timeline events with your event group. So if I select an event on the timeline, it will actually select that event inside your event list as well. Again, this is something that we're testing for this release. So feel free to leave a comment or send us some feedback depending on how you would expect it to work. But so far it's been really good based on user testing. Perfect. So those are the major changes to the UI that you'll probably notice in this release. Moving on from there, I wanted to talk briefly about the new options for media import as well as transcription from URLs. So when I talk about transcription from URLs, if I import a file, a media file, we always have the option to import a media source from cloud storage. So if I copy something from here and I paste it in here, you'll notice that we have that option to import a trailer from our S3 bucket, and that plays back inside of our window here. The other thing that we've now introduced is we've taken that a step further, so you can now actually run automatic transcription on that URL. So it doesn't require you to upload the file anywhere. We basically can submit that job directly. So you can see that here. And it works for any of the 3 main service providers. So it works for Assembly, it works for DeepGram, it works for Rev. It doesn't work for Google. Unfortunately, just the way their service requires the file to exist in a certain space. So for us, we do allow it for Assemblies, DeepGram, and Rev. So you have that option. Great. And then the other thing that we've done in terms of the AI tools is we've also come up with the automatic translation. We've added ModernMT. So ModernMT is a new service provider that you'll find in the list of service providers. So again, we offer Google Translate, DeepL, and now you'll have ModernMT as well. ModernMT has been fantastic. They've been really good. So completely blown away in terms of how accurate their translations are. So we recommend continuing to try different service providers to see which one you like, but we recommend giving ModernMT a shot. Awesome. So the last feature that I'm really excited to announce is a new plugin for Drastic Technologies, which is their new CLI tool. So what it is basically Drastic Technologies has a tool called CC Convert. If you purchase the plugin, you can buy it through Drastic, you can buy it through Closed Caption Creator, and it allows you to embed and extract closed captioning from broadcast files like MXF files or MPEG files. So you can either extract them or embed them. There'll be a video coming out shortly, which will show you how that works. But essentially, we have a new panel here that allows you to embed the captions or extract them and import them directly into a project as event groups. Awesome. So I think that's everything for this release. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. You can also comment on this YouTube video directly, and we'll do our best to reply back. If you need help, again, you can visit the website at www.closedcaptioncreator.com. Love to hear from you. Thanks.